Hey, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honor to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the spirit, but I wanted to do a copyright fair act use. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of all copyright acts of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use and for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, and teaching, scholarship, and research. All right. Fair use is a permitted copyright statute that may otherwise be infringing, but this is not for profit. This is not to make any money or any privatized gain from it. This is just for educational purpose and the purpose of educating the audience on the said video that I'm getting ready to report on. So with that being said, and it's weird because Esau still don't really honor this shit, but it's a video I have. It's called Disturbing Face of Mass Incarceration. Okay, now I'm going to play like 6 minutes of this video, but it really gets down to the thick of the video within, like, I believe the 3-minute mark, when the guy goes into basically the monitors and wait till they put the MOTB in you. And the look on his devil face is gonna really fumigate a lot of you brothers out there, because this proves that Esau is nothing but the devil that the Bible talks about. Okay, so I'm gonna play the whole video, well, majority of it, starting from the beginning, and I want to believe that the interview, when it gets to the good part, ends around 6-minute mark. So just be patient. You're gonna get a lot of meat from this, but it really pissed me off because these devils, they don't really care. It's all about them enslaving Jake, okay, and how corrupt the system is, and the reason why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has his hand set against this place. It's gonna be a blessing to finally see this place burn for good, man. When we in those chariots and we're looking down on this place, it's in game, man, and we're right there. All right. So anyway, without further delay, here we go.
We found her, but the door's locked.
I'll go look for the key.
Hopefully,
I did everything on home detention. Had my baby shower at home. I pushed my baby out on home detention. Like,
Louie, please open the door.
I'm restricted to my house, 24/7 lockdown. I'm a prisoner in my own home.
Christina has been awaiting trial at home after her arrest for burglary, destruction of property, and threatening to burn someone's house. For over a year, she's been on an ankle monitor that tracks her every move.
I can't do anything. I literally sit in the house. I can't go out unless it's for a doctor's visit or a legal visit, like court, or see my lawyer or something like that. Can I get a job while you watch me so I can take care of my child?
Like, you're not even convicted of a crime.
No.
What does that feel like?
Like I'm guilty of the crime. Like I've already been sentenced and found guilty. It's hard. It's hard.
And I'm gonna say that that's wicked too, brothers, because they're putting people on ankle monitors before they even quote unquote convicted of a crime. You see how wicked this system is? But if Jake knew the ins and outs on how to get around it, they can really sue and get a lot of money off that. That's unrighteous as hell. But my thing is, I thought that you was innocent until proven guilty. But not in this setup. In this setup, you're guilty until proven innocence, man. And Esau did that shit to pretty much capitalize off Jake, because they know most Jakes go to jail for something stupid. So they were like, well, you know what? This is not even really, can't even prove anything on this aspect of a crime. So what we gonna do? We just gonna put them on a monitor to monitor them. Like domestic violence, right? Like that shouldn't even be a charge that anybody should really get unless you're really, you caught in an act. But even then, if you having it out with your old lady, so what? That's your business. But there should be no such thing as domestic crimes in America against your spouse, because it's just your word against hers. But by her being a woman, they take her side. You know what I'm saying? And Jake get locked up for shit like that and have to go spend money on a lawyer and just to prove your innocence. This place got to burn, man.
They know I'm here by myself and I'm a new mom, so I have to risk basically going outside.
Christina is part of a broader national trend. More and more folks accused of crimes are getting strapped with ankle monitors, and that's given rise to a highly unregulated, privately run system of surveillance. No one knows how many people are being monitored nationally, but in LA, where they do keep track, the number of people monitored pre-conviction went up from 24 in 2015 to 1,284 in 2021. And in other places, like Harris County, Texas, the number of people monitored jumped from 27 in 2019 to nearly 4,000 in 2021.
How many subscriptions are you paying for? Rocket Money finds sneaky or forgotten subscriptions.
And that proves that this is because Esau don't follow the law. Like, if you already have an account against a guy that you presume they're guilty, you don't wait it out 6, 7, 8 months, man. You supposed to deal with it right then and there. According to our law, if you were convicted in our law, you would be pretty much sentenced within before the sun goes down. You see what I'm saying? You don't just make a person sit, I presume they're guilty, but you didn't really convict them. And if you ain't convict them, then ain't no point of fucking holding them, man. Well, he may be a trial risk, or he may be a flight risk, or, well, that's why you deal with the shit right then and there. If you dealt with if you deal with the matter right on hand, then you wouldn't have overcrowded prison systems. But see, it's all about money with this fucking devil, man. Salakia.
I don't see it as really any different from mass incarceration.
Marianne Lima is a public defender in Baltimore who's seen how judges' increased reliance on electronic monitoring is punishing people who have yet to be proven guilty.
COVID really made the business boom because the bench was on board with, we have to clear the jails because of COVID. And so a lot of them said, okay, private home detention. And I don't think they realized the impact that it has on the clients.
What is it that people go through? How is it a hardship?
I have clients who struggle with losing their jobs. They lose their children sometimes, all because they can't go out and work or they can't leave their home. It's crazy to have to go through all that when the end result could very well just be probation, no jail time, no deprivation of liberty, just continued supervision.
Which is to say, you could be, like, the punishment before you're convicted could be worse than the punishment after you're convicted.
It's a condition that the court imposes to keep you somewhere, and private companies are benefiting, and you haven't even been found guilty of a crime.
In most states, courts have outsourced monitoring people to private companies, and those people are the ones paying for it. Can you show me the stuff in there?
Absolutely. Show you a piece of the equipment.
Tim Schlau owns Alert Home Detention, a small outfit in Baltimore that charges up to $17 per day for the device, plus $125.
This is where it gets done. This fucking guy right here, man. This dude literally, bro. I claim him. He's gonna work. I got this devil right here, and you can just see the stoutness and the proudness and the hatred in this damn devil, man. That's why it's gonna be a pleasure to put you Edomites in fucking slavery. And then you got Jake out there that's saying, why y'all want to slave the white man? Well, look at this, man. This guy's gonna make you want. It's just a spirit, man. Even if he wasn't just highly rude or nothing, it wasn't even like he just got a real pompous and a sinister, wicked spirit. And I can't stand people like this, man. Especially Edomites. But here we go.
Setup fee. For poor people in Maryland, the state picks up the pretrial tab at $11 per day, which is a tenth of what it typically costs to jail someone.
So this is the equipment that we utilize. It's called OmniLink. It's a GPS unit. Looks like Darth Vader.
It does look like Darth Vader, it's true. Tim started his home detention business in 1995 and has seen the industry and technology change over the years.
So I have it on my phone.
Oh, really?
So then what will happen is then they'll tell you where they are. Here's their address, and then that gives you a history of where that person's been today.
This is kind of like incarceration, but with an electronic monitor.
Well, it is incarceration. We have people's lives in our hands. We have freedom in their hands because we're helping people to learn a better way of living.
So you think there's an element of corrections to being on home detention?
Oh, absolutely. You're only 1 foot out of jail. You got 1 foot in, you got 1 foot out. Society still hasn't come on board with all this. You know, so wait till they have chips.
What do you mean?
Once they put a chip in you, then you'll really be able to watch it, right? Then you won't have this stuff.
You mean like a chip in the body?
You heard what he just said, right? Put a you-know-what in your hand so we won't have this stuff. Meaning phones and all this other shit, it's a possibility that you're tracking. Everything was all set up for this whole ordeal that we getting ready to run into in a short while. This what it was all about. This was them testing it the whole time, from credit cards to ankle monitors to fucking cell phones to GPS to all this stuff was another way that they showed you there that they had the technology to track you. Okay, and this is what it's all about, man. This devil wants to play God or the Most High. And we're going to get the scriptures, but I just got to finish this part. So
Absolutely. It's eventually going to come. They're working on it.
let me rewind that.
Wait till they have chips.
What do you mean?
Once they put a chip in you, then you'll really be able to watch it, right? Then you won't have this stuff.
You mean like a chip in the body?
Absolutely. It's eventually going to come. They're working on it.
I guess the trade-off here is that people who
They're working on it, right? Okay. This man is the devil, bro. All right. This is the book of Malachi 1, and I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. It says, I have loved you, says Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein thou hast loved us. Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons in the wilderness, man. Okay? The Most High hated Esau. He still hates him. No matter how many of you apologetics out there trying to come in and, you know, replace the Bible with replacement theology and incorporate yourselves into the basket of salvation. No. Okay, like you got this new thing now going into the somewhat about the unreal God of Hebrew Israelism or something like that, the imaginary, something like that. I haven't yet though. Honestly, I don't even waste my time even watching Vocab or any of his apologies. It's the same shit over and over again, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, certain brothers go into it for defense of the gospel, which is beautiful. But me, I don't really have time to go. It's annoying to the point. You know, I was dealing with them Christians tough like 2-3 years ago, man. I'm just to the point. I'm like, man, they are already condemned. You see what I'm saying? So I focus on these events and what's going to happen and building up Jake. But hey, nonetheless, them Christians, man, you know, they come around with this bullshit and they get confounded on the spot. So, but it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts, they should build, but I will throw down, and they should call them the border of wickedness. Okay? The border of wickedness. Okay? That's the wicked of the Bible. Esau is the wicked. Okay? And we've been telling you, Negroes, Latinos, and Hispanics that for a damn long time that know your enemy. Okay? This man, he's certain. He said, oh, yeah, it's going to come. You know, this old jock sniffing Edomite, man. You know, look like he got a couple of kids that he deals with, you know, because that's the nature of these devils. But we've been trying to tell you and warn you that this man is coming down with great wrath, man. Okay, and you're going to be part of the wrath he's going to come down on. But it says, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So you got to understand how Yahweh Shai feels about these people. Okay, in your mind, you may think, oh, well, man, obviously the Lord doesn't hate them too much because he's letting them do this. Well, it's all for prophetic sake. And the Most High is allowing Esau to build himself up so he can ultimately tear him down, just like with Pharaoh. Okay, because if the Lord was to stop Esau right now, okay, it wouldn't be no means of justifying him putting them away forever. Like, he has to reach the fullness of his wickedness so the Most High can be justified on putting his ass on conviction, man. Okay? And it says here that the Lord have indignation forever. All right?
were incarcerated, stay in a state prison. It was taxpayers that are paying for that prison to operate.
Correct.
But now there's like a shifting of the financial burden of incarceration.
Yes. Why should I pay for you to go to jail if you can pay for it yourself? The benefits for you paying to stay out of jail is that you're able to be with your family and pay taxes rather than our taxpayer money paying for them to sit in jail and to be unproductive.
In our system, you are considered innocent until you're proven guilty. So that's the part where I'm like, Like, does this make sense?
I think things have changed in America. The way the system works is that it's like, you're guilty. Now you got to prove your innocence. I just happened to be a businessman that got into the business to help people.
See that look? That devil, man. He think it's a joke, boy. All right, the Most High, boy, he's going to fuck you crackers up, man. Because this is how they feel about Jake. All right? This is the book of Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. That's evil, man. And that's an evil dude. He's totally with the plan of this mass incarceration and putting monitoring. Said he's with it, man. He's vouching for it. You heard what he just said? He said, look, it'd be better for you to pay for your freedom than for us to have to pay to put you in jail. What kind of madness is that? But the consensus of it is that they coming with this MOTB. All right, I don't know, Nate, IUIC, you other campsmen. I don't know what your jargon is on this system. Maybe you just feel some type of way about the subject because the apostles teach it and you look down on them and you feel like, well, we would never subjugate ourselves to a bunch of bums in their prophecy, or you just don't know. Okay, but I think you know. I think it's option number A. I think it's the pride and that you feel that you're better than us. So therefore, you would never take a back seat to what we're saying because, yeah, right, how's the Most High dealing with a bunch of bums, right? You'd be surprised. But it says, and work evil upon their beds, and when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, okay? Scriptures call it evil, iniquity. And they have the power to practice it because the elites have given them the funding through various means of legislation and oppression to overtake our people, man. And really, Jake is affected by it. You see, 70% of the prison population is with Israelites. I think with like what 40% being African American, so-called, and 30% being Latino, so-called. You see what I'm saying? But yet, if you look on the books, only 39% of the crime is committed by Jake, and the other 70% is committed by Esau. So how in the hell do you have more Jakes incarcerated than Edomites when they own? How the hell do you have a 70% incarceration of Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans when they only make up 39% of the crime nationally? See, the math ain't adding up. So that means that's a lot of crimes, predominantly white collar crimes, that's going unchecked, because that don't add up. That's why it says here, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, okay? And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so that they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage, man. Damn. Okay? It says, therefore, thus says Yahweh, behold, against this family I do devise an evil, in which ye should not remove your necks, neither should ye go haughtily, for this is the time of evil, man, okay? Because the Most High has his hand set against our people, man, okay? And he has his hand set against the so-called white man now, because the tables are turning, okay? But nonetheless, Jacob's still being held accountable for things that they didn't really commit. Though Jake is wicked, but they're locking niggas up for 50 years for stealing penny can. They had something which is called the 3 strikes law out there in California under that governor, the Terminator nigga, Schwarzenegger, right? Hey, you get booked the 3rd time, man. Hey, you can literally steal a 25 quarter bag of potato chips, man, and they'll give your ass the gas chamber, man. Okay, the crime building, the Biden and Kamala, them conjured up back in the 90s, man. He said, look, we need to keep you people off the streets, man. This is how they feel about you, Jakes. And then in the flip side, a lot of you niggas need to be locked up, man. Okay, a lot of you Jakes need to be locked. I'm just keeping it real. Like them riots and stuff that took place in Chicago, y'all going downtown and storming stores and parks. Hey, you niggas need to be given a gas chamber. Okay, but that doesn't justify Esau coming down with unrighteous decree. But he's the devil, so you gotta expect that. Okay, Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed. It says grievousness, man, and an unrighteous decree is a law. Okay, child support, that's unrighteous. Paying taxes, that's unrighteous. Okay, the prison system, that's unrighteous. Everything in this system, from the least to the greatest, from the blade of grass into the raindrops, everything is freaking corrupted. You see, everything is corrupted in this place. I mean, from the top on the bottom, everything is corrupted. And when I say everything, from the foods you eat to the vehicles you drive to the jobs you work, is all shrouded in corruption, man. That's why Esau is going to pay, man. He's going to have to pay. And it says to turn aside the needy from judgment. Who is the needy? Our people. And to take away the rights from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless, man. And that's what these laws are, draconian laws, man. And like we've been telling you, Jakes, man, in order to enter the NWO, you're going to have this thing on you. And he said it. He said it with extreme pride, and he smirked. He said, look, it's coming. So if you other Israelites can't see this, man, then that's a personal problem you got with the Most High. And you need to work that out with the Lord, man. Okay, especially if you're calling yourselves prophets. I mean, this is simple stuff. It's not hard to understand. But then again, the Spirit got to be with you to accept it. You know, when the apostles first broke it down, allergies, but when the apostles first broke it down, it made sense. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the Spirit clicked. Even before I researched it for myself, just the way they broke it down, and I'm like, and just through faith, you just believed it. Like, yeah, I do believe it when I started researching it, because I already had an idea that it was going to be something like that. I'm like, well, yeah, this makes sense. This is the MOTB, okay? Yeah, it makes sense to me. You know, going down here, this is the book of Isaiah 14, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, and the people should take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel should possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they should take them captives, who captives they were, and we should rule over our oppressors, okay? Esau is the oppressor, okay? And he set up other nations, including Jake, to oppress his own people, because if you go to a city or state organization like a government, notice that the women run HR. The women are over the health department. Black women at that. You see what I'm saying? And that place is a total cesspool of confusion. He set the women up over the men. And then when you look at the men working under the women, they all simped out. They worship and bow down to the damn woman. And I see it all the time, man. I'm like, wow. And it's not supposed to be like that, but that's the oppression, man. Esau, he uses himself and these other nations, including the black woman, to oppress us. Even when you're dealing with a woman, she in your own house, your own wife, she's the Lord over you, man. She's oppressing you, man. When you oppress something, it means that you're pressing down on them. And it says, and it should come to pass in the day that the Lord should give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. This is a hard bondage, man. Okay. Especially going back into slavery. A lady was breaking it down. She was a slave, man, you know, and she said basically she was in the cotton fields from sun up to sundown. And sometimes they get beat if they ain't working. You know, Jake get exhausted working out there in the fields, Louisiana, man, out Mississippi picking cotton. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucking 100 degrees in the summertime, and they want you to work 18 hours consistently. And if you don't do it, you get your back whooped. That's oppression, man. And honestly, today is even worse because they have you mentally. They have you in contractual slaves. Which sometimes, man, having a debt behind your name is worse than getting beat, man. Because with a debt behind you, that shit follows you, and it ain't nothing you can do about it if they got you. They garnish your wages, man. They want to take you to court. And you got to file for bankruptcy, so therefore your credit gets messed up. And then it's a repeated cycle. This place got to go, man. And it says, and thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, saying, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. But he that smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth, man. Okay, so he's going down. Okay, it says the whole earth is at rest and is quiet, and they break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us, man. And a feller is a person that chops down trees. Okay, like a deforestation, a person, the Paul Bunyan spirit, the big, tall, giant Edomite with the axe on his shoulders that chop down sycamore trees and stuff like that. That's what that is. And Going down to verses 16, it says, they that see shall surely narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? Because in the kingdom, you're going to be a mockery, man. Okay, we're going to have you monitored, and we ain't even going to have no anchor monitors on you. We are going to be the monitor because we're going to have this spiritual power. If you try to escape 50 feet from your pit, your hole, which we're going to put you in, which the system say that you should, we should put you in the holes or the pits, which is a system. When we put you in our system supernaturally, bro, we going to know everything you do. We going to know what you think. If you think about revolting, we going to come and send the Hebrew police on your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have our sons sons watching over you and beating you. We're going to have Ham set up over you, the other nations set up over you. And, hey, I'm going to have Ishmael to do it. Hey, Ishmael is going to be my private police force. When I don't feel like going over there and dealing with you. Matter of fact, I'm going to have Ham to deal with you, man. Ham and Moab. And Ishmael, they just going to beat the hell out you. You know, because those Arabs are sick of you too, man. Everybody's sick of you. Okay, that's why I'm surprised that this place ain't went up in chaos yet. All the shit they're really doing to people, oppressing them to this degree of severity. You people are just sitting back and taking it all because you got a fucking 6-figure job. All because you got a nice house, you drive a nice car. You can readily and freely go get the 7-Eleven quick trip hot dog and the big goat and have no repercussions for it. So you let all this misery go past you and you do nothing about it. It's madness, man. And it says here, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. Okay. So, yeah, man, that's the point, man. But the whole point about it is the MOTB will be a thing. That's the point I wanted to zoom on. And I didn't bring any scriptures out on that because we know that already. But anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And with that, Lord's will is edifying. Shalom, Abba, Shalom.